going to talk about the formation of adverbs today. And in English, we can turn adjectives into adverbs. We do the exact same thing in Latin. So if I said Claudia is quiet, quiet is an adjective. And adjectives modify nouns. And our noun we're describing is Claudia. And adjectives answer the questions, which one, what kind, how many. And so it could answer the question, what kind of Claudia is she? What is she? Which Claudia is she? She's the quiet one, right? If I said Claudia spoke quietly, quiet turns in the adverb quietly. And adverb, so what are we describing now with the word quietly? Adverbs modify verbs, adverbs, or adjectives. And right here, quietly is modifying or describing how she spoke. And adverbs answer the question how, when, where. How did Claudia speak? She spoke quietly. So adjectives modify nouns, adverbs modify verbs, adverbs, or adjectives. All right, in your chart book is a whole section on adverbs. All the information I'm giving today will be in there. So you can either turn to that or watch this. Just know that's where it is. So when you're learning the rules, you know where to look. So adverbs answer the questions how, when, where. They are formed from the adjective stem. So for first and second declension adjectives, you're going to go to the feminine form of the adjective and you're going to remove the A, and that gives you a first and second declension stem, right? In third declension, you're going to go to the genitive singular form of the adjective and remove the IS. And again, that will give you the stem. And once you know how to find the stem of the adjective, the rest of it is easy to form. All right, let's take a look at positive adverbs. So, although they don't decline, adverbs do have positive, comparative, and superlative forms. And for positive adverbs, if it's a first and second declension adjective, all you do is you take the stem and you add an E to it. Third declension, you take the stem, how we formed it up above, and you add iter. Now, stems of third declensions ending in NT, which I'll show you in a minute, they add instead just ER. So, stultus aum, that's a first, second declension adjective. We take the stem, which is stult, we add an E, which gives you stulte, which is stupidly. Now, many of these adjectives adverbs in English are going to end in ly. That's pretty common in English as well. A lot of adverbs will end in ly if they're positive adverbs. Now for fortis forte, we're going to take the stem because this is a third declension. And because it's third declension, we're going to take the stem and add iter, which is fortiter. Now the last one is one of those ones I told you. When we find the stem, go to the genitive, take off the is. You can see that the stem here ends in nt. Because it ends in nt, we are going sapient, nt, we're going to add an er, so sapienter, which means wisely. All right, so comparative adverbs. These I think are the easiest because it's the same rule for all of them. First, second, and third declension adjectives, you add the stem plus ius. All right, so the first one, stultus aum, is the adjective form. Take the stem, which is stult, and add ius, which gives you stultius, which is more stupidly. All right, so for comparative adverbs, we can either do er, so it would be stupider, or we could use a more for more stupidly, rather stupid, or too stupid. Any of those work for the translation. Now, here's a third declension, fortis forte. We're going to take the stem fort. We're going to add an ius, fortius, and we get more bravely. Again, braver, rather brave, too brave would also work as comparative. And like with comparative adjectives, you're only comparing two things. Positive just tells you about it and describes this. Comparative adverbs compares, and superlative adverb basically tells you that it's the most you could possibly get. All right, you're comparing out of a group of things. The adverbs applies to a whole group of more than two. All right, so for superlative adverbs, for first, second, and third declension, okay, applies to all of them. For regular adjectives, most normally what you'll see is the stem plus isime. Now, I want you to take a look. We'll look at this as well. If the nominative masculine singular ends in er, you're going to take again the stem, but you're going to add rime to it. Okay? Now, if the nominative masculine singular ends in I-L-I-S, let me underline these so you can see them. We're going to do the stem plus L-I-M-E. So let's take a look. All right, stoltus stolt is our stem. Everything's normal about that. So we are going to add issime, stoltissime, and it means very stupid. So we could say stupidest, we could say most stupid, or we could say very stupid, depending on which one makes the most English sense. Caler, caleris, calere. Here we have a nominative masculine that ends in ER. So what we're going to do is take the stem, find it the normal way, caler, and then we're going to add, oh, it's missing an E, R-I-M-E. So we're going to take the stem, add R-I-M-E, and we are going to get calerime, which means swiftest. And the last one, facilis, facile. So this one is interesting because remember the masculine nominative ends in I-L-I-S. So we take that stem, which we get from here, facil, and we're going to add an L-I-M-E. So you can notice that there's going to be a set of double R's here and a set of double L's. So just make sure you know that. So facilime, most easily. All right. And again, superlative adverbs mean est, most, or very, your choice. So superlative with quam. When quam appears with a superlative adjective, it translates as blank as possible. So basically, you're going to have as adverb as possible. All right, so the pirate fought as fiercely as possible, and the adverb goes in between two AS's. So quam is used for other things as well, so pay attention if quam is with a superlative adverb. Keep an eye out for that, okay? It'll throw some of you the first time you see it because you won't be thinking about quam being with an adverb. But remember, it can also be with a superlative adjective as well. All right, last thing. There are a few irregular adverbs. And I put these in your book because unless you're doing Latin for a really long time, it is hard to memorize these. These are the most common ones. Watch how some of them significantly change their form between positive, comparative, and superlative. There are some others. Another one, so you'll see bene, melius, and optime. That one is a very common one. Badly, male, peus, pessime. That's another one. And much and many. These are pretty common. There's also a few slightly irregular adverbs that they're only irregular in their superlative form. Facilime and liberime, most easily and most freely. So just know that those exist and that there is a resource for you should you run into them. Now it's all about the practice.